I'll just tell you about the sleep cycles. Within a sleep cycle, there are 5 different stages. Now, a sleep cycle lasts for 90 minutes. The first stage is drowsiness, and that's falling asleep. The next stage is the light sleep stage. Stage 3 is your slow wave and deep sleep. And this is really important that children get into that slow wave deep sleep, because that is when the secretion of the growth hormone happens. Hi, previously I've talked a little bit about sleep and the importance of sleep and establishing a good sleep routine for your child's educational success. Sleep is essential for your child's growth, their development, and for restoring their energy. It promotes good behaviour, learning, well-being, and healthy weight. Let me tell you about the recommended amount of sleep that doctors and health professionals tell us about children and what they need for their growth and their development. So for 2 and 3-year-olds, it's actually 14 hours of sleep and within a 24-hour time period. For a child aged between 4 and 6, it's about 12 hours per day. For a child 7 to 13, it's between 9 and 11 hours. And a child 14 to 17 years old between 8 and 10 hours per night. So, however, children's sleep patterns do differ, and according to their age, their temperament, their biological rhythm, their spent energy, their health, and their hereditary. At an early age, children show the characteristics of whether they're an early riser or a late riser, whether they're heavy sleepers or light sleepers. As a child, I know what I was. I was an early to bed, early to rise, and a heavy sleeper. When I was young, my mum had like a little music box, one of those old-fashioned things where you pull the string down, and as the string went up, the music would play. I would try and make it my mission to sort of not fall asleep before the end of the music song, before the chord reached the top. I would try so much. I never, ever achieved that. I totally failed. Within 20 seconds, I was fast asleep. And so I know even now, as soon as I am horizontal, I go to sleep straight away. However, it's not like that for everyone. And so we need to be able to understand what makes or what rituals are good to create for a bedtime routine. I'll tell you a little story about when I was 8 years old. I was asleep in the middle of the night, and we were in a bedroom, and I was sharing with my sister. And in the middle of the night, some drunk intruder tried to get into the ranch slider and was making a lot of noise, being drunk. And my sister woke up. She ran upstairs, got my mum. The neighbours woke up. Anyway, they called the police. My mum yelled out from the upstairs balcony, go away. The police came and took the man away. I slept all the way through that. In fact, I woke up in the morning and Mum was, telling me that all this happened, and I felt so upset that I had missed out on this major event because I just slept all the way through it. And so, of course, I'm early to bed, early to rise, and a heavy sleeper. Well, what is your child? What is your child like? Everyone is different, but it'll be interesting to see whether it's a hereditary trait that goes down through your line. I'll just tell you about the sleep cycles. Within a sleep cycle, there are 5 different stages. Now, a sleep cycle lasts for 90 minutes. The first stage is drowsiness, and that's falling asleep. The next stage is the light sleep stage. Stage 3 is your slow wave and deep sleep. And this is really important that children get into that slow wave deep sleep, because that is when the secretion of the growth hormone happens. And as they encounter that, they're obviously going to grow in their bones and their structure. Then number 4 is the paradoxical sleep. That's the dreams and the REM. And then you go back to stage 5, the light sleep. So next is the waking stage. Or the child starts another cycle of 90 minutes with the light sleep resuming. So the cycle is repeated during the night as many times as necessary for that child to feel refreshed, recovered, and that their biological and their psychological growth functions are happening. Researchers in Tel Aviv University found that missing 1 hour of sleep can be enough to reduce a child's cognitive abilities by almost 2 years the following day. So think about your 4-year-old. If they lose a precious hour of sleep, how are they going to behave like? Or what age will they behave like? A 2-year-old. So you've got a lovely 4-year-old, and then the next day you've got a 2-year-old. Can you imagine what a 2-year-old is acting like? So that's just with 1 hour of lost sleep and the effect that it has upon a child. Sleep is needed for the development of memory and attention functions. At all ages, there are certain signs of sleepiness. Slower reflexes, the relaxation of the muscles, yawning, sighing, tingly eyes, red eyes, feeling chilly, reduced visual focus, low tolerance of noise, and a loss of appetite. And behaviour is affected. Loss of concentration, less motivation, irritability, and nervousness. The sleep needs of a young child vary, but we should be encouraging our children up to the age of 3 or 3.5 at least to have one sleep cycle of 90 minutes after lunch, when it's natural that their brains and their body begin to slow down and relax. Contrary to popular notions, a nap during the day does not diminish the effectiveness of night sleep. I have lots of parents often saying, please stop their afternoon sleep because I can't get them to go to sleep, in the evening. But if you interrupt that natural cycle when they want to sleep, when they want to go to sleep after lunch, then children actually then learn how to resist sleep. And they will take that resistance, that learning of how to resist sleep, and they will actually apply it at night time. So if they want to go to sleep during the day, let them go to sleep during the day, because you're actually making a rod for your own back, because it's not easier for them to, have a longer sleep just because they missed their afternoon nap. So we want them to have their afternoon nap. However, if your child is growing out of the need for an afternoon nap, that's, sometime between 3 and 4-ish, it's still good for them to have a quiet time where they rest. Because after a short time of rest, where they're actually lying down, just looking around, then they might be allowed to play quietly. Learning to relax and to stay quiet for 30 minutes contributes to their attention, listening and observation skills. Your child will actually be brighter because they've learned how to rest. Researchers Memento and Kernstead, in an article published in 2004, say that preschoolers, especially the older ones who don't require a nap any longer, they still need to learn how to slow down and rest. Children who do not fall asleep during the first half hour of nap time usually do not need that sleep, so don't try and prolong that and try and get them to sleep. Because once the non-sleepers get up, They should have that calm, solitary play. So tips, I think I've said it before, but tips for having a really wonderful routine in the evening is have a regular bedtime and wake up time. Have a consistent routine which allows the brain to wind down. Ensure that the sleep environment is comfortable, warm, quiet and dark. Keep distractions such as screens and devices and phones away from the wind down time and out of the bedroom. Ensure children are active and outside throughout the day. And if you do those sorts of things, then they will be ready to sleep. I hope you found that useful. Just a few tips, a few stories, a little bit of knowledge about nap time and the importance of them, and sleep in the sleep cycle. Thank you.